Hello everyone, it's Boomer First Class here, and welcome back to the next episode of Onimusha Warlords. Back to live commentary for this one. I think I've managed to fix the OBS problem right now going on. Ultimately, I don't know exactly what happened. Well, I think may have just clicked some options and got it all messed up, but there'll be post-commentary for the previous parts, as you've probably already experienced this from the past. But presently, we're about to go into the Dark Realm. The 24 Gauntlet begins now. This is going to be it. Like, there's no reason to really do this. Like, it's just part of the requirements to unlock the minigame mode. And, again, to give you a very easy... It's like a little bit of a benefit to say, like, oh, hey, you did this super hard challenge, so you get an easier final boss. But the final boss isn't that hard in the first place, so... It's more just for the achievement of it. But here we go. Welcome to the Dark Realm. 20 floors of mayhem. Messed up the ace in there. So, I think I recommend for this part, because really, there won't be much going on here besides some random violence. I just recommend that if you want to just sit back and listen to this part unless you have been already, then you really aren't going to miss it much. Again, it's just 20 floors of varying enemy formations, and yeah, it's just more of the same, just at the highest level difficulty, because... You know, the slightest mistake can get you killed, and as you can see, you have very minimal opportunities for health. Health orbs, I don't believe, drop from enemies unless you perform an Isenom on either, so... More ninjas... Oh, I thought I got the time in that one just right, but oh well. Another floor down. So with this one as well, if you've managed to get all your orbs sorted on your main the weapons you're using mainly or fully upgraded, you can then use your remaining souls to boost up your health weapons, your health potions and stuff, and change them from herbs to medicine. Will make this a lot easier for you, but ideally you want to be saving your magic for really difficult encounters, or if you get yourself into a sticky situation. But because you've got the 3 weapons as well that all have their own independent magic page, you have a lot of different options to use for magic as well. And just play very patiently, you know. Try not to get flustered, because you will be surrounded by a lot of different enemies. If you have to stay in block for a bit, just let your enemies like overwhelm you, let them get their attacks off. And if you really do have a situation where you're going to struggle, then you know you've always got your magic to fall back on. So as this example, we're just going to play this very slowly. So we got over the first one. That's good. Come on, fella. Come on. There we go. Love to see it. Again, plenty of opportunities for Easons here as well. And if you want to get some health back, Easons are going to be the best way to do that. But again, because of the length of difficulty, and the amount of floors you will have to traverse through, they are very risky to perform. So only do them if you are super confident you'll nail them eventually. I got pretty good lucky time with that one because of the overhead slash being somewhat easy to like Eason, but it could have easily gone wrong and I'd be looking at it another way. So just play patiently. There's no time limit. There's no unless you're going for the S rank, which you know I don't think like the most dedicated players are going to go for. Just take your time with it. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't get flustered, and you will conquer the Dark Realm eventually. Like early on, the floors are really not that bad. It's basically the same enemies you've been fighting since the beginning of the game. Just a lot of them. Really, that's kind of the main thing about the Demon Realm. It's just a lot of what you've already been fighting. And of course, you can get like a double Eason like that. It's just absolute brilliance. But because again, Eason attacks will trigger if you perform obviously the perfect attack on the frame window. But if you perform the attack window on one enemy, but another enemy behind them is in the line of fire, they're getting insta kill too, which makes it very nice when it happens. It's a nice little benefit of Eason attacks. So. You know, definitely the long-winded like horizontal slash that Onimusha does against those general dudes or the lieutenants. are very good because they can hit like a bunch of enemies and get a lot of free kills. As for these guys, I see again. There you go. I used in the one guy, but his mate gets hit caught in the crossfire, so they both get slapped. You get another piece of fluorite here. So again, if you're going for the fluorite as well, the dark, you know, the dark, they're going for the mini game, the Oni spirits mini game to unlock ultimate mode. The Darkroom is a mandatory. You have to do it because there are fluorite in this level. Now, I've never done any spirits, like, for context. I've just kind of done it where I think I wanted to unlock ultimate mode, but really ultimate mode is just... It's very boring. You just have, like, a power trip. You have infinite magic, you know, all the weapons at max rank, all the and infinite items and stuff. It's literally like developer mode, where you just, like, you're going through testing all the locations and stuff and whatnot, but you have all the extra weapons, all the books, and all the extra equipment. You have max health. You literally can't die. But these books giving me some grief now, which is normally not something they do. But, you see, the bugs are an interesting enemy for me because you don't usually fight many of them, so I never really learned the Eastern timings for these guys. Again, just butcher through them slowly, slowly. You know, don't. Oof. Nice. There we go. Got through. One more. Nice. Bit of extra health back there on that one. Excuse me. Again, very much like you're just going to get a lot of formations with some enemies you may not have encountered as a combo before. Just slowly work through them. Well, that was really dumb of him. I mean, I'll take it. You've also got your range weapons as well if you want to use those. Again, the dog rum just really is just like more... Oh, you little fucker. Thank you, I'll have my souls back. Again, because if you don't kill an enemy with an Eastern attack here, you won't get health souls. This is the one... That's the one thing that makes the Dark Realm rather difficult, is that normally in the game you will get, like, health souls just from regular combat, but because the Dark Realm is like the hard mode version, you have to perform an Eastern if you want to get health back, which makes it very tricky to, you know, consistently keep your health topped up without healing items. But, oh, we have a big man here. We did have a big man here. That was a really good Eastern, because we get a lot of health for that, so. Kill this guy. I'll open the chest later. Again, but it's more of the same, like, you know, there's nothing really too scary about this, you know, you just, again, just play it safe, take your time. It does get a lot harder later on when they start throwing more of the, like, difficult enemies together, when you've got, like, the shadow dudes jumping you, and then there's the army general dudes as well. But early on, it's not too bad. I always forget how to time that one. Okay. See, this is where it gets interesting now, because then they start throwing multiple enemies of, like, the big enemies us together. And this is where it can get a little dangerous. Of course, like, once you've played this game a while and you've picked up the timings, again, you know, just take your time, just try your patience, you know, try and get your Eastern attacks going, you'll be fine. Not to worry about. You just have to lock in a bit as well. But then you get rooms like this where you're like, yes. Did I open the treasure chest on the previous floor? I think I did. See, we did take a lot of damage from that. But, it's fine. Come here, you. You'll give me my souls, thank you. Too late. Oof. Right, now I'm going to start using some Oni magic here just to clear the way. I missed. Oof. Damn, okay. It's always difficult, that one, so... We're going to use our first medicine here just to ensure our health is topped up. Because we're getting a bit dicey there. Again, this is where the Dark Realm does start to pick up its difficulty. We start throwing a lot of these... like I said before, it's the quantity of the high difficulty enemies they just throw upon you that can get really tricky. But with enough patience and time, and if you're really good at Eastern, this won't be an issue. Soul Absorber, again, really good for the Dark Realm because it's a super enclosed area. You can make great use of it. Like, I think for this one... I'll show you what the Soul Absorber does, actually, because we've never actually used it. Well, I'd love to, anyway, if I hadn't got my, you know, my tentacled. Oh, maybe the Soul Absorber doesn't work. Maybe the Soul Absorber doesn't work in the Dark Realm. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I thought... I've never actually tried in the Dark Realm, so maybe that's on me. That one's on me. I thought the Dark Soul Absorber works. But essentially, what it just means is while you're hitting an enemy, they're dropping souls from the body as they're getting constant hits, so you get some extra souls. It's nothing too spectacular an item, but I was trying to show it up, but the Dark Realm was like, the Dark Realm? No, no, no. None of that. So a little bit of backstory on what the Dark Realm actually is. You'd think, oh, it's just the Demon Realm, you know, it's just some of the part of the Demon Realm where we are. It's actually, this is actually a prison set up by the Onis as well for defeated Genma warriors that they imprison into here, who then they decided to end up changing it into, like, using the Genma prisoners into, like, almost like a tutorial for Oni warriors. Okay, I think this is an area where Arashi is going to be super handy because we are getting a bit overwhelmed now. Beautiful. Might as well give him a finish him off. Right, I'm not even going to entertain allowing you to take those souls, Mr. Man. Be gone. I hate those bloody blue skull orbs. But, I was going to say what's going on there. But yeah, remember you do have ranged combat as well, so you can use your bow and your matchlock, and that will probably be really handy for this area, because the matchlock, especially with the burst bullets, can rip and tear, you know, Doom reference acknowledged, through a lot of the enemies in here. Oh, this is going to be a bit of an annoying one because of Ronaldo. Get out of here. Not doing too good here. There we go, we'll get rid of him. Nice dodge there from me, if I do say so myself. So just got to lock in a bit with this, ladies and gentlemen, because this gets quite intense after say that I would say the 10 floors. Really, boy? Again, just sheer numbers overwhelm you when they're all attacking. It can get pretty intense. Like I said, the Demon Realm is... You can know the layouts, you can know all the stuff. It's still going to be giving you a bit of grief. But we do have another talisman as well. So we do have 3 instant revives if we end up dying. So we're going to succeed through War of Attrition. But it is still quite tricky. And I do like to try and see how far I can get without using as many of the Onimusha magics or, you know, items as I can. Fucked. Yeah, just gonna try and trim the fat here and just, you know, because we're gonna get some free magic anyway at some point. Yeah, easy. Those things are not too bad to fight, honestly. They're a bit, like I said, they're more of an inconvenience than an actual, like, problematic threat. But a lot of the time, you just have to be really cautious of trying to perform attacks when you're about to get swatted by somebody behind you. So again, it's more of a waiting game, a lot of the battles here, to do well. But the Dark Realm itself, again, like I said, it's just always about the numbers, the sheer quantity of enemies, and then the quality of the enemies in big groups. So this one, we got Ronaldo's already, like, kind of annoying enough because they split up. But then we've got, like, a stealth dude to worry about as well. That can make things difficult. So I think what I'm going to do here... See, do we have enough? We do, but I'd rather not waste it. Oh, unfortunately, we're too close to Ronaldo to avoid the grab, so... Okay. We are on a crumb of health here. We're on a crumb of health here, so I'm going to go and use my medicine. Again, full health here. Full health recovery, so very broken item, which is why they cost like a full bar of souls to level up herbs. Just trim the fat of something. Oh, okay. I thought I had that. I thought I had that as well. Wow, you are... There was three of you in the previous area, and you have been the more successful in all of them. Again, it's difficult to perform Sincere in this place as well, because of the sheer quality of enemies. It's difficult to really focus on one eventually to focus on the timing as well, because while you're trying to eat in one enemy, another could be trying to perform an unblockable attack, or a grab, or just hitting you from behind, and you can't block, and you don't have the time to do the Eason, because you're obviously getting smacked in the teeth from behind. So... it really is something you have to pay attention to positioning. Honestly, I think in this game, Ronaldo is one of the more annoying enemies. Just because of this whole gimmick of, you know, splitting up and stuff is just super frustrating. Okay. Nice. Good, Eason. Always nice to get a bit of health back from an Eason. So, I like those guys. I think they're one of the more, like, enemies that I don't think are too bad. But we are in... I think there's last 5 floors here where we're going to have the hardest layouts and the strongest enemies. Hence, we started with the, you know, the black ninjas, which are obviously the higher tier ninjas. We get a herb as well, which is nice, I suppose. Nice, some extra healing if we need it. Again, we can just overwhelm these quickly with some rapid assault so we don't get overwhelmed. Nice. Of course, just keeping them down as well. So, again, if you don't have to kill them immediately, if you can keep them down on the floor... keep them down on the floor and then deal with their friends while they're still standing up. You can spread the damage out. You just manage the enemy like aggro as best as you can, and you'll succeed at this. Again, the Dark Realm is just one of these areas where there isn't really much to talk about. Like it's kind of bad for commentary purposes unless you've got somebody else with you, because you are just kind of like fighting the same dudes over and over again in different formations. Oh, I was really hoping I could hit the ace in there. Well, I did that time. That was splendid. Yeah, nice try, buddy. Oh, okay, I see you. Let's just get one of them out of the way with it. A ride and strike, because it can be quite problematic to have too many of them alive. not too bad. I actually find the blue guards a little easier than the red ones because while you're constantly hitting those, they can block you. You know, they're blocking uppercut slash. While it's a guaranteed hit, you can block it. It's fairly easy, and if you block it right, you get like a free Eastern timer. So I find them actually easy to deal with than the red ones because the red ones have the grab, which can actually throw you off your tempo. Because obviously you can't block it. Oh, there we go. The talisman should, however, revive us, though, at full health, so... Medicine, talisman, doesn't really matter to me. You know, here we are, we're back. We're back at full health. We just carry on with our business. I'm gonna say, magical medicine, without them, it is really difficult to do so. Not impossible. It's just, you really... like, maybe I'm being a bit too frugal with my Oni magic, but... Again, once you've got them one-on-one like that, not too bad, not too big a deal. And we're going to keep going. I think we've got 2 or 3 levels left now, and then we've managed to successfully complete the challenge. But we get into let's see. So we've got a couple of ninjas and the blue army generals here. We'll still with the ninjas first because they're easier to kill, and they're going to be like interrupting our Eason. We can block the army general. I could have Eason there. Lol. Guys, see what you mean. Once you've hit them a few times, as soon as you see the block coming, it's kind of like a nice 1, 2, 3 sort of approach with that Eason. So I think that's why I feel the blue generals are actually easier than the red ones, because the grab comes out of nowhere. They can like go through your attack frames to hit you with it, and they don't care if you're blocking. It's a grab. Like they don't care if you're blocking. They just go right through it. Okay, you know what? Let's just hit this guy with a ride and slash. Make it quickly. There we go. Nice. I've got a bit of magic back for it as well. You're going to be sucked deeper in. Will you? Maybe. Ah, yes. Here we go. Well, let's just start with a few cheeky rise and slashes. Oh, he got hit as well. I didn't even press the button there. Oh, now we got the stealth dudes as well. Let's just take care of the ogre so we can get some more room because his attacks are... See how easily you can you try and go for Easons? And then this can happen. Like, again, it's so easy to get overwhelmed. Just, you know, try and keep your patience. I mean, I'm playing badly right now because I should be blocking a lot more than I am. But that's fine. You know, you've got plenty of evidence. You just use what the game's giving you. You'll succeed. It's, like I said, the Dark Realm is difficult without the right items, but they give you so many that, you know, you should be fine. And there we get, like, an cheeky Eason on them there anyway, so... There we go, lovely. Love to see it. And for completing the challenge, we are finally complete. We get the Bishaman O. It's not the Bishaman O, I promise you. It is actually the Bishaman O, which is for short for Ocarina. This Ocarina will help to awaken a sword. And that is the Dark Realm complete. So, really not that bad of a dungeon. I know the game makes it out to be like a super dangerous sort of area. And for first time play, it certainly is. Like, it's quite difficult, definitely on the first time, because you're probably not used to the combat as well. You're not used to the enemies, so you've been exploring a lot, you've been fighting a lot. You've got all these other, like, items you've probably been using. And, oh, Oh, okay. So obviously, because we've been into the Dark Realm by ejecting enough souls, the gauntlet has been enhanced to its max level. Wonderful, but like we're at the tail end of the game, so it just means that we suck again. Like previous, we get another soul absorption speed up. That's all it means. So, for the rest of it, I'm gonna level up Shippu because why not? The Shippu has been enhanced to level 2. Keep going, keep going. We got plenty of souls. Now, if you want to, you can run through the Dark Realm again. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can do it. It's definitely an option. The Shippu has been enhanced to level 3. And that's the max rank, and that's the max ranks for all weapons, all orbs. Easy peasy. And I'm just going to bump the rest into medicine, because why not? Make some more burst bullets, just in case I need to use them. And maybe make like one fire arrow, just because I can. You know, the arrow that will. So... we've completed the Dark Realm here, so now we can go back. I'm just going to go back, actually, and see if you can retake the Dark Realm challenge, because I might be wrong. Yeah, see, the little guy does come back. You know, the way he says, "Oh, you have come again." I don't know why. It reminds me. It's weird. It reminds me of either Mario or I can't remember his name. I think it's Beedle from Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker. He goes, "Oh!" Whenever time you walk in the shop, he just comes out and hits you with that. If anyone's played Wind Waker, over to you. That's my absolute favorite 3D Zelda game. I cannot get enough of it. But we're gonna save now because we have conquered the Dark Realm. There is nothing else for us to do. Besides, you know, get some extra fluorite, which, as I've said, I'm not really interested in doing that. How much did we end up with? We ended up with 14 at the end of it. That's not great. That's all right. Yeah, it was a decent amount considering I wasn't looking at a guide or anything, so fair play. We got all the books, which I've never done before, so that's a bonus. Yeah, I'm just not gonna bother. There's no need to. Again, everything's maxed out. There's no need to worry, stress yourself with it. We need to save Yumimaru and Princess Yuki. We got no time to waste. These are the Gemma. They can live for another day. Or, you know, go play cards with each other or something. I don't know. But, find a way to break through this as soon as possible. Well, you see. We have the Great Bow and the Great Arrow now. So, this seal that they've tried to keep us at bay with. Now... as you'll probably notice here, the weapon here is of Oni origin. Because, you know, mystical purple fire, that's not exactly normal. So, this weapon, this barrier is the only one powerful enough to actually dispel the barrier on the door. Because that's why we needed it, because it was the only weapon high purple fire in the Great Arrow. So, just the plot convenience, so they're not a weapon. You won't be able to upgrade this for the normal bow. I know what you might be thinking. You think, oh, we get the Great Bow. Maybe it's an upgrade for the normal bow. That is not the case. But we've broken the seal on the door, and we can now enter not the Dark Realm, but the Demon Realm. I do find it interesting that they put the seal on the door and then they didn't think to like, well, what if in case he breaks? It's like, why do we just lock the door as well? But anyway, back to the case. Back to the case and my point. You pathetic human.
I have no time for you. What did you say?
You bitch! And here he is again. You might recognize this guy. Chad Simonosuke walks into the demon realm, gets greeted by him, demon. He's like, "Yep, you're a... Why don't you go back being a stupid demon scientist?" He's like, "What?" But yeah, round 2 with Marcellus, who is very similar to the first time round. Ouch. Yeah, Marcellus is probably, like, I would say the hardest fight in the game the second way round anyway. But if you conquer the Dark Realm, you'll be able to defeat him. Oh! Oh! Let's use your magic attack to break the shield. Get some souls. So the shield bash you actually can't block. Just don't get boxed up in a corner with him, because you obviously won't be able to sidestep his stuff. There we go. Nice little quick stab. Use the shield. So we want to. So eventually you break a shield, and he just says, "All right, I'm just gonna go without the shield then." And now is where we can start doing some proper damage to him. Although that still, you know, has the same hitbox value, even though he doesn't have the shield. I did not mean to kick him, but it's kind of funny I did. But oh, and this is where the difference of the fight begins. So, interesting thing about the second Marcellus fight, now that he has this different move, his attack patterns will change quite a bit. But there is actually one very special thing about Marcellus in this game that no other boss can actually has as a benefit. You can, it's like very picture perfect, but you can, on that attack, actually hit him with an Eason. It's hard to do, and I've never done it, but I am going to see if I can try and do it this time. Like I said, it's very tricky, very time dependent, but... Let's see if I can try and do it this time, because I would like to see it myself. We're just going to use the medicine just in case. Nah, timing's alright on that, wrong on that one, okay. But it's only one attack you can actually Eason him on. And the rest of it is just not something you can actually hit him with. Oh, we're getting absolutely wrecked here. Hey, get off me. Ow. Okay, so... Okay, I'm gonna stop trying, like... I've seen it happen, I've seen it on YouTube, you can find a clip of it on YouTube, but yeah, I'm not gonna just keep sitting here wasting time just trying to Eason this guy. Let's just fight him normally. No, that's not it either. Okay. Maybe I have to block it first. Maybe that's the catch. Okay, you can block it. Oh wow, that was a big dash. Yikers. Okay. I think I remember that you do have to actually deflect using him. There we go. There we go. What a way to end that fight. Let's go. That's the first time I've ever done that. I couldn't remember if you could actually, like dodge Eason or block Eason. But after I remember that you could block it, it was like, okay, so I'm guessing it has to be a block Eason. But what a way. But yeah, there you go. You can Eason Marcellus. He's the only boss in the game you can actually do that to. And while it doesn't insta-kill him, it does inflict a hell of a lot of damage. So that is the best way to deal with the second phase. And definitely my favorite boss fight in the game. You've got a nice area of like arena to fight him in. The first time around is fun, and it's just a nice, simple one-on-one combat with him. A bit like the Samanosuke, the Dark Samanosuke fight with him, where you actually had to like think a bit about your attacks and stuff. Where Samanosuke would block all your attacks, but it would be more of a case of you had the magic to like kind of bullshit your way through that fight. You can't do that necessarily as easily with Marcellus, so I think it's that boss is definitely the best boss in the game, bar none. Because it's just cool. Because with it, also a little bit with the lore of Marcellus is that, if I recall, he was actually the associate of a warrior monk called, was it Sogen, I think it was? I think it might be Sogen, but point being is that Sogen was, I think, murdered or like heavily injured, and Marcellus, in a fit of rage, actually went berserk as he was an Oni warrior and turned into the Onimusha, which is honestly the Oni warrior. And actually just started kind of like being unable to distinguish from friend or foe, and eventually ends up killing Sogen, or Sogen kills him, and he obviously dies from his wounds, but ends up like turning on Sogen, and they have a fight, and one of them dies. But the point is, Marcellus is actually a designated Oni warrior, which, if you remember from the first time you fight him, he has the wind gem attached to his left hand. Very similar to how Samanosuke has his Oni gauntlet, with the jewel attached in his gauntlet. So it's a little bit of, storytelling by show rather than tell. That obviously I really enjoy and appreciate. It's little tidbits like that that can just enrich the experience a bit more. But that's going to be a part, ladies and gentlemen, because we got a lot done. This is pretty much the penultimate part of Onimusha Warlords. Like, we're in the demon world now. We can save Princess Yuki, Yumimaru. But what is going to be behind the closed door? And more importantly, what's going to be behind this little door here? Well, it's all going to be revealed in the final part of Onimusha Warlords. And I shall see you in the finale. Take care.